Hey, welcome back to Pump Your Coin, everybody. We're glad you're here. Tom, good morning. How's it going?
It is going fantastic, Justin. How you doing this fine day?
Oh, a beautiful morning. I had a wonderful weekend. I'm happy to be up and about and ready to talk some crypto.
Well, this is one of the most incredible days that you could ever dream about in the crypto industry. Why? Why? Because El Salvador today, Bitcoin becomes legal tender in El Salvador. I mean, who ever dreamed that we'd get to this point? I know there's a lot of old school OG investors that knew this would eventually happen, but I have no idea why Bitcoin's not at $100,000 today. Finally, a country has made Bitcoin legal tender. Now, it's not the only legal tender in the country. There's a lot of FUD around that. They're kind of focused. You know what? They were focused on the demonstrators in El Salvador who were protesting Bitcoin, and then when they pulled back on the crowd, there was like 16 people there. It was ridiculous. In El Salvador, starting today, you can either use American dollars or you can use Bitcoin. It's your choice. You're not forced to use one or the other, but they're both available as legal tender. The government has given every citizen in the country a wallet, and when you download the wallet, you get $30 worth of Bitcoin for free. So I think it's 8 or 9 million new people could be on the Bitcoin network today. I'm just so impressed. I'm so excited. It's just the snowball that's just started.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how volatile the El Salvador currency was, and the fact that they really rely on exclusively the American dollar at this point, right? So the American dollar is not just the official currency of the U.S., right? There are multiple countries in the world that their fiat destabilized to a point that it was completely unusable, and the American dollar becomes the only thing that they can depend on. And also, people don't realize that giving somebody in El Salvador $30 in Bitcoin, that doesn't sound like a lot to you and me, but holy cow, they're going to be able to support their family for a while, right? They're going to have groceries on the table. They're going to have, electricity or whatever their basic needs are. $30 goes a long way in El Salvador.
100% it does. 100% it does. I mean, it's such an incredible thing. I know, like this whole project started at Bitcoin Beach, and during the virus, they had Bitcoin investors donate money to all of the members. Everybody in the village, every family was getting, I believe, $40 every 3 weeks in Bitcoin to help pay for their groceries, to help pay for their living while they were in lockdown. And so, the Bitcoin community is so generous and so nice. They want to see this project succeed. They put everything they can into it. Jack Mahler went down there with Strike, to help facilitate the whole project, and he made no money on it. The Bitcoin community is about making people's lives better. This is the first hurdle, the first step in that process. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And if you're watching and listening and you're excited to see Bitcoin be used as a currency and you're all about the goodness of your heart and giving back to the community, make sure you tap like right now. If you're not following us, hit that subscribe button, put a comment down, and make sure you share this content with your friends. This is huge news. This is no small day. This is a massive, massive, massive piece of news. And honestly, it's even the second most important piece of news this week. You know what the first is?
What is the first, Justin?
Cardano smart contracts go live on the 12th.
I knew I had to do something with Cardano. All right, tell me about it. Tell me what's happening in Cardano.
We need to do an entire show on that. That is no small piece of news. I would much rather focus on Bitcoin today because this is massive, massive news, and I don't want to short it in any way, shape, or form. I think we need to keep rolling down the value of El Salvador and what the country's doing, what the president there is doing, how he's going about it, the way that he influenced and was influenced by Bitcoin. It's just really exciting. Like, I'm really amazed that a president, and it shouldn't be, right? I mean, he's a young guy, just very forward thinking. He wants the best for his people. He wants the best for his country. And adopting Bitcoin was in my opinion, at the very least, was the absolute best way that he could give his country a fighting chance of, being out of poverty and having a strong currency that won't lose its value overnight. I think they did a wonderful job.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I watched the interview he did with What Bitcoin Did, and I know he's been involved with Bitcoin for some years now. And remember, they're not forcing Bitcoin on anybody in their community. They have the option to use Bitcoin or cash, American dollars, and they can transfer it back and forth in a second for free. So if somebody is, if I want to pay for a coffee with Bitcoin, they can accept the Bitcoin, then immediately change it into dollars. So nobody is being forced to use Bitcoin. Everybody is voluntarily using this network, and it is law now that stores have to accept it. So that's what's so important. They did create their own government wallet. But you don't have to use the government wallet. You can use the Bitcoin Beach wallet. You can use the Strike wallet. You can use whatever. They're giving the country financial freedom, and I think that's what's so important here. You have one of the poorest countries in the world that now own an asset that goes up in value, as opposed to the American dollar, which goes down in value every year. And now, since the money printing has started, it's going down 10, or some people are saying 15, 20% a year. So why would they want to use a currency that goes down in value? This is a major fork in the road for a country. And now we have 5 other countries already thinking about going to the Bitcoin standard.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Like, so Bitcoin, I think it can become an international money that could be used, for purchasing day to day. One of the things that I've talked about with you in the past is the issue with the total volume of Bitcoin in the world, right? I mean, there's 21 million total Bitcoin. Of those, they say at least 3 million are already completely gone, burned, lost forever. So we're really down to 18 million. And then if you break it down, into a million Satoshis in each Bitcoin, and then you look at the entire world.
I'm sorry, Justin, it's 100 million. 100 million Satoshis.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Good catch. But I think when I was on the phone with you talking about that, when we did the math, it was something like every person in the world could only have, gosh, I want to redo the math because I'm going to be way wrong here, but it was either in the low thousands or hundreds of Satoshis per person on the planet. So I think that's going to be the only challenge with making Bitcoin an official currency rather than a reserve to base other currencies off of, whether that's Ethereum or Cardano or Algorand or any other blockchain. But the problem, the opposite side of that, if you have something that has infinite printing, then you run into the same inflationary problem that we have today, right? Where we just print money on demand and the actual value of it goes down, to nothing. And so I think that's a really hard balance. I don't know how it's going to end up. The US has talked about its own blockchain-based crypto digitization of our fiat. They've talked about doing it on Algorand, or at least I'm hearing rumors, I guess, of Algorand as a potential blockchain that could be used for that. There's just a lot. There's a ton of moving parts in this space, and I don't have. I have many opinions, but none of them are strong enough for me to say with 100% conviction that I know the future, right? I just know that Bitcoin is going to be worth $100,000 or at least by the end of the year. It's going to be $1 million in 10 years. But man, there are people that own tens of thousands, right? I mean, you've got the Michael Saylors of the world. I don't see them giving up their billions of dollars in Bitcoin to make sure everybody on the planet has them, has a few Satoshis.
Well, I mean, I think if you do the math, they would. I just don't buy that argument. I know you've given me that argument before. I just, you're in the trillions of Satoshis that's going to be available for 6 billion people. I know that, parts of the population are shrinking, parts are growing. I think we're going to remain pretty steady in that number in the near future. I don't know the long-term future, but I do have a premise that I've been working on. I've been working out in my head, Justin. I want to run this by you, okay? And my premise is that you have two different worlds. We have the real world, and then we have the digital world, okay? Which now everybody's calling the metaverse, right? The metaverse.
Yeah.
So without a doubt, you need sound money. You need sound money principles and everything. But the real world needs sound money principles, and Bitcoin is winning that. Bitcoin's being adopted everywhere, and it's a slow process. And Bitcoiners want that slow process because it's the safest. It's the safest process. There's a reason why they don't change the Bitcoin network. The reason why they don't make the blocks bigger is because they need that to be safe. And, we have the second layer solutions. We have Lightning coming out, and Lightning's just in the beginning of development. There's very few, everything's being written, smart contracts, everything's being written on Lightning. But I see a case where Bitcoin becomes the world's reserve currency. I certainly see that. I think it's going to be a snowball. Today, the first country fell, and next month we're going to have another one. And we're just going to keep seeing that happen until the 6 or 8 countries that can print their own money, until they have no choice but to go to the Bitcoin standard. I see that happening. I see that evolving. So in one sense, I'm a Bitcoin maxi when it comes to the real world. I do think Bitcoin will become money.
Okay.
Number two, we have the metaverse. We have the metaverse, which I think that we're going to become citizens of metaverses. Not in the future, we're not going to be citizens of countries. We're going to be citizens of metaverses. But I think that I might live in Decentraland, but go to work in the sandbox. I think that in the metaverses also need a currency. All right, also need money. And right now, without a doubt, the best use case is Ethereum. Everything is written on Ethereum and every metaverse right now. I know there's a couple up and coming ones you're going to want to talk about, but if you look at what Ethereum is doing right now, $30 billion is locked up in staking right now. Almost $1 billion worth of Ethereum was burned in the last 30 days. NFTs are at its all-time high. DeFi is at its all-time high. Everything is written on Ethereum. 2.0 is coming out in December. If you're not putting money in Ethereum, I think you're crazy right now. Because now let's talk about real life and let's talk about the digital life. What's growing faster, real life or digital life? I think digital life will devour real life. So in the short term, my premise is Bitcoin will dominate real life, but in the long term, Ethereum is going to dominate the digital life and take over everything. So if I were you, Justin, I'd sell that Cardano and put it in Ethereum.
You got a little bit. You're gonna have to work on me to sell all of it. That's for sure. So Cardano, I'm a huge fan. Obviously, I'm a full Cardano truther. It's my go-to. It's my baby. When I go to sleep at night, I have a physical printed Cardano that I lay my head on. So I love it. And Cardano Space, that's a really cool new project. It's a virtual land essentially. I'm certainly involved in that project. Got a little bit of that land myself. Do you watch Alex Becker at all? He's a YouTuber.
I don't.
Owns a tech company. So he's got, and I bring this up because he has about 850,000 followers. He's closing in on 1 million or something. So he's a pretty big YouTuber, right? Pretty popular. He's huge into NFTs, very huge into NFT gaming specifically. He's a big fan, right? And I think a lot of the metaverse, like you're talking about, will live for NFTs and specifically NFT gaming. I think a lot of people will, get absorbed into that space, just like on Ready Player One. I see that fully happening, and being, a citizen, like you said. I mean, that I don't necessarily like that word, but maybe that's how it's going to go down. I can't dispute it, of Decentraland or the Sandbox or Cardano Space or whatever, wherever you're going to go. But, Alex Becker was talking about mass adoption, and he's an Ethereum. He was an Ethereum. I don't know about a maxi, but he was very high on Ethereum. He's very diverse. Like he's an altcoin guy in general. But being really big into the NFT space and the gaming space and the potential metaverse space, he's friends with Elio Trades and the Super Farm and the gaming that they're building and on Super Farm. And so when he made this statement that I'm about to mention, it really kind of blew my mind because he's good friends with that, Elliot Wainman on Elio Trades, who's, he was probably the influencer of influencers when it came to NFTs. So, he meant it for him to bring this up was really kind of blew my mind. He said, Ethereum, it's cool and all when you've got all these rich dudes, trading $30,000 JPEGs. But for mass adoption, it's not feasible. It's not doable. Nobody is going to go in and want to, buy a $3 access to an NFT game and spend $120 in gas. It's just not reasonable. It cannot happen. And Ethereum, and I know you're going to say Ethereum 2.0. I mean, people said, oh, EIP 1559 was going to be the solution, and that was going to drop gas fees. They're higher than they've ever been. It's no better. And now on top of it, you got to tip the guys, the miners that run these the mining rigs for Ethereum. It's just not feasible. And ETH2 is years away. It's at least a year, but probably still 2 years away from moving to proof of stake. And until then, they're going to lose to Solana for sure. They're going to lose to Cardano for sure over time. Solana is wicked fast and incredibly inexpensive to run a transaction. And that's why it's at whatever. I mean, like I said, it was $30 less than a month ago, and now it's 5x, 6x from that. It's because it has smart contracts, it has fast transactions and low cost. I don't see Ethereum hanging if they don't make a quick shift to ETH2 and get to proof of stake and reduce those gas costs. All of that adoption is going to just go down the drain.
You know what? You guys have been making these arguments for years now, but yet Ethereum just keeps growing exponentially. First of all, 2.0 is already running. They're merging in December, where 1.0 and 2.0 merge together, which, Justin, in case you forgot, this is September. We already, we're running more transactions than Bitcoin ever thought about running currently.
NFTs.
I mean, yeah, I mean, everything explodes. As everything explodes, you keep disrespecting the network. I mean, that's fine, but we just keep going up and up and up. Transactions go up. Why do fees go up? Because everybody is buying everything on Ethereum right now. I mean, can you imagine when this gets fixed, what's going to happen? Goodbye Cardano, goodbye Solana. If you want to say if to me,
from now, we'll see that.
If you want to say if to me, I can say if to you on Cardano. They don't even have a smart contract. You're talking about them coming out next week.
This week. It's this week.
This week. This week. But we already have them. I mean,
by Friday, you can totally call me out. You can put me on burner. If they don't have smart contracts by Friday, I'm gonna have to eat a whole lot of words I've ever said.
Okay, you're right. Gaming won't work on Ethereum, right? Like that Axie Infinity game's not working, right? Oh wait, 48,000% returns in the last 6 months, 9 months, or whatever it is. 48,000.
It's the first one. That's it.
But you're saying it's not going to work. It works. It works, Justin. It works.
Doesn't
Ethereum is perfect.
I've tried to play that game. It's unplayable.
Well, no, because you don't like the game. I mean, I don't like the game either. I don't like any games. It doesn't matter. But
it's unplayable. It's too slow.
Thousands and millions of people are playing it. How can you say that?
They were playing, yeah. They were starting to, and then they ran into capacity issues. But I'm not going to argue. Hey, look, Axie's great. And NFT gaming is great. I love the fact that they were able to do a proof of concept on Ethereum before they found a more efficient network. I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Listen, the roadmap has been there for Ethereum from the start. They knew they were going from proof of work to proof of stake. They want to make sure the network is sound and secure before they move to it. I'm good with it. I listen to every one of Vitalik's interviews. It's going to happen. Listen, I would get on the Solana bandwagon until Ethereum gets to 2.0. I would get on Cardano until Ethereum gets to 2.0, because then it's just over, Justin. It's just over, because when fees become nothing on Ethereum, the network effect is already there. The developers are already there. The value is already there. Everything is already there, Justin. We don't have to wait for Cardano to catch up, They're there. Everybody's there. So
you
the
guys
smart
are doing
bet.
Ethereum's doing the tortoise and the hare thing. They ran out of the gate with a unsafe, unsecure network that, sure, it's there and it exists and people use it because it's the only thing. But Cardano said, hey, we're going to do this slow and steady. We're going to do it right. We're not just going to release it with a bunch of bugs in it. We're not going to have to hard fork every 2 months. We're not going to have to do any of that. We're just going to do it right the first time. So I guess, and we'll certainly see, right? I mean, there's somewhere in the neighborhood of I think it's 3,000 dApps that are being developed on Cardano right now. Certainly day one, when smart contracts are turned on, they won't be live and they won't be fully functional, but it's not going to be long. There's a whole bunch of things that are ready to go. There's the Catalyst program that they've been building out. They've got the Plutus Pioneer program where they've been training up devs. Adoption's coming, and the dApps will be there. And I think it's fast enough that it's, I do transactions pretty much daily on Cardano, at least in the form of NFTs right now. I'm buying and selling NFTs on Cardano daily. I buy and sell NFTs daily on Ethereum as well. And the experience is night and day between the two, that's for sure. And the cost is insane, the difference between the two. But hey, we'll get there. I guess we'll see. Next week, I want to have to revisit this conversation for sure.
I guess we'll see. But, in full disclosure, I did buy, so I'm not a tech guy. Justin's a tech guy. So I did buy some land on Cardano. Is that correct?
It's technically space. In Cardano, they did space.
Space. So, okay. And then Justin and I did partner up and bought some NFTs together on Ethereum. So what did we buy on Ethereum, Justin?
Yeah, we got a couple of Mutant Ape Yacht Club apes. So we aped in. We're in.
So that's my first NFT. I don't know if we spent too much on that, but I finally had my experience with my first NFT. I showed it to my wife and I told her how much we paid, and she just didn't get it, Justin. She just didn't get it.
My wife, I actually have gotten to the point where I only call them JPEGs to her just to make her frustrated. Like, she's like, please stop saying that. Please tell me you did not spend that much money on a JPEG. And I get it. But all those NFTs, they're adding utility, right? There are things like stoner cats that the only way that you can watch that program is it's a TV show, well, an internet-based streaming show, and it's a cartoon. The only way you can watch it is to own one of the stoner cats tokens, and it gives you access to the site. That project was started by Mila Kunis. It's got the voice actors in that show are Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, Chris Rock, Jane Fonda, and Vitalik Buterin. Yeah, Vitalik's the voice of the stuffed cat in the show. And that so that's utility, right? That's showing the utility of an NFT, access to that show. There's another one called Glue Factory Horses that does kind of the same thing. And then, it's really, to me, the JPEG mania that went on, in NFTs were because utility was still limited. But I think over time, these profile picture type projects and the JPEGs, they're probably going to fade away. The blue chips will remain, your Bored Apes, your CryptoPunks, your Space Buds, Unsigned Algorithms, all of those will survive and thrive for a very long time. But I have a feeling 90% or more of the rest of these are just going to kind of fade into the background, and people will be stuck with their 2 ETH Pudgy Penguin in their wallet forever. But I think the apes and some of these other massive projects and the land projects, man, I wish I had bought Sandbox. I wish I had bought more Decentraland when it came out. And that's why I was such a big advocate to you when Cardano Space showed up. And I said, man, this is the first project of its kind. We need to do it. It's on Cardano. It's going to be massive. And they're doing some really cool things already with it. So I'm really excited for that. I'm glad we ventured into the NFT space together on a few of these things.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I just have some questions in my mind about the interoperability between Cardano's NFTs and Ethereum's NFTs, especially in the gaming space, if they can cross chains and how that all works.
Yeah, I don't know how it's like. So, for example, like Ethereum or Cardano, as it's coming out with smart contracts, the ERC20 converter will be live immediately or close to immediately. But I don't know how that will work with the ERC721, the NFT-based format for the tokens, and if they'll be interchangeable. Because on Cardano, everything is a native token, so everything is essentially a Cardano token. There's no differentiating programming language between NFTs and smart contracts. They are themselves. They are a native token. So it'll be interesting to see how they play. And it's probably going to come down to multiple metaverses at first, right? There will be an Ethereum metaverse and a Cardano metaverse and a Solana metaverse. And then slowly over time, you'll have these Chainlink or some other Oracle. I'm sure ultimately over time, to make this all happen, there will be an Oracle like Chainlink or some other Oracle maybe specific to NFTs that will pull data back and forth to make, a singular metaverse between all of them, or whoever the winner is at the end of the day, right? So that's an exciting conversation.
I get it. Ethereum's going to be the rich, wealthy metaverse like New York City, and Cardano's going to be like Podunk, Kentucky, right?
Well, I'm sure all of our fans watching in Kentucky love that part of it, but
no disrespect, Kentucky, but
just kidding. No, we'll be in Wyoming we'll be up in Wyoming with Charles.
Very progressive state there, Wyoming. Very
It
progressive.
is. Well, when it comes to crypto, they are.
That's what I'm talking about. I know their senator is a big advocate of crypto, right?
Yeah.
I think she was the treasurer of the state. The first bank, Kraken, is now a nationally chartered bank in Wyoming, and they have crypto. It's just so exciting. Every day new news comes out about the crypto market every day, and I just can't believe why the price is not double, triple, quadruple what it is now. It's just so exciting, and for the people that aren't in the space yet, they're just missing out, Justin. They're just missing out.
For them, I mean, thank goodness it hasn't doubled or tripled. I mean, you see Solana at 5x in the last 30 days at least. If you're not in, get exposed. Not financial advice, but get exposed to something. Do your own research. Find the one that fits best with your ideology, or wherever you think the money's going to go. However you think you need to get involved. Get involved. Find something. I don't care if it's Bitcoin or tomato coin, right? I don't care what it is. Find something, get involved, get exposed. You don't have to put your entire net worth in it right away. Once you're in, you will, but because once you swallow that orange pill, there's no going back. Once you see it and the vision's here, you won't go away for sure. So if you guys have any thoughts about that, or if you're in cryptocurrency, put a comment down there. Let us know what you're really heavily involved in. Are you an ETH maxi like Tom? Are you a Cardano truther like me? Are you a Bitcoin maxi like Promit? Let us know. And if you're into Solana or something else, let us know down in the comments for sure. Tap that like if you haven't done so just yet. All right, Tom. Hey, I think that's all I got then today. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Any last thoughts?
Yes, Justin, remember, getting rich is a journey, and you have to decide to take that journey and start today, Justin. Start today. Crypto will take you there. Crypto will help you get there. Crypto will change your mind. When you take that dive, Justin, it'll change your mind, how you think about everything. So, hey, great program today. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you.
Same here. Same here. All right, everybody. It was a wonderful day. Enjoy it. Go get yourself exposed to some crypto.
All right.